Hello, everyone. My name is Mac Robinson. I work for the state government of Connecticut, and I'm here to talk to you today about perfluorooctanoic acids, also known as PFOA. First off, what are PFOAs? Perfluorooctanoic acids are wide-use chemicals found in everyday products, such as nonstick pans, permanent markers, fast food wrappers, tin foil, anything that can basically repel water or heat. Um, these PFOA chemicals have been found to be harmful to the environment and to our health. They're nicknamed forever chemicals. That is mostly in part due to their complex chemical formula, which makes them very difficult to break down. Because they're hard to break down, this leads to bioaccumulation, which then can be ingested by humans and animals, and that causes harm, mostly in the form of cancer. Over 4,000 compounds are in the PFOA category. And if you can see my mouse here, it's basically a straight chain hydrocarbon with a whole lot of fluorine molecules attached, as well as a carboxyl group at the end. So different variations of this molecule classify themselves as PFOAs. There's still many compounds being identified, which requires more research on the part of the scientists. So PFOAs in Connecticut. This presentation is meant for the Connecticut State Department of Public Health, namely to address their water contamination problem. So PFOAs are found in fire extinguishers that use chemicals known as AFFF or AFFF, which is aqueous film forming foam, which obviously they use to put out fires, but it contains a high level of PFOAs. When they use these fire extinguishers in places like Bradley Airport in Connecticut, they not only contaminate the immediate surroundings, but they can leach through the soil into nearby bodies of water, such as the Farmington River and the Connecticut River, which traverses the entire state. The project at hand for Connecticut aims to eliminate PFOA chemicals in products and consumables moving forward, as well as to remediate and monitor the PFOA contamination that has occurred as far as the recent past. So PFOAs can remain in the human body for a long period of time. These PFOAs have been known to cause harms such as growth and development issues. They can be transferred, say the mother had ingested some PFOAs and has PFOA in her bloodstream, can be transferred to the offspring through breastfeeding. PFOAs have been known to cause issues with the reproductive system, liver and kidney problems, as well as several different types of cancer. So the plan of action I am proposing is to mitigate PFOA contamination in Connecticut, not only now, but more importantly, the future. This can be done by testing, identifying, remediating, and monitoring PFOA contaminated areas or potential contaminants. This is also achieved by implementing policies in government so that they block the use of PFOA in items moving forward. It is important to secure grant money to fund PFOA research and analysis, as it is a new science, I guess you could say, that requires more research. The funds to secure that research and studies moving forward is very important. The state of Connecticut would also need to generate standard operating procedures and develop strict action limits for acceptable PFOA contamination. Basically, you're not going to get PFOA 100% out of everything, so there needs to be a level at which it is considered safe and non-harmful. So some environmental impacts, the pros and cons. Namely, the pros would be to clean up the environment that have been contaminated or at risk of contamination. Some of the cons associated with this is the expense and the time needed to study and conduct the appropriate tests moving forward in Connecticut. And unfortunately, that PFOAs are abundant through all aspects of the environment in our everyday life. They're proving tremendously resilient, and the remediation of these chemicals could prove extremely difficult and expensive to be removed if and when they're found in the environment, to use the proper remediation and mitigation techniques, as well as the monitoring in the future. Some of the pros would obviously be to strictly enforce the limits of PFOAs in everyday items to mitigate human and environmental interaction moving forward, which can prove vastly beneficial to our health and our environmental health moving forward. As far as the cons go, Some of the common materials that we use, everyday household materials, we need to be rethought, which can prove expensive to the companies that make them and maybe more expensive to the consumer, which poses an issue, as well as if the PFOAs are identified in the human body, then it opens up a larger potential issue or a larger problem of how do we treat these contaminants in the body or in the environment moving forward. So in summary, the PFOA issue is proving predominant across all aspects of life in the Connecticut area. Action needs to be taken in the form of analysis, testing, monitoring, and removing contamination as soon as possible. The implementation of this project requires ample time and funding to be successful and succeed in safeguarding our environment and personal health. Thank you for your time.